everybody, welcome to my video, and thank you for stopping by to watch. And this is a card that I entitled Thanks for Helping. And this little snail is helping turn this turtle back over after he got turned upside down. The turtle and the snail and these little flowers are all from Create a Critter. The sunshine is from Doodle Charms, and the grass is from Easter 2010, and that cartridge is worth the grass because I use that grass all the time. It's real easy to use. That's what the inside looks like. This is how I started. I went ahead and assembled this part, and I'm going to tell you about it. I've inked around all the edges. I've inked around all the edges of all my pieces except one, and I'll show you on that one piece how I ink. But my card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. My frame piece is 4 by 5 1/4. My background piece is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4, and that's the same on the inside. And then on the inside, the sentiment piece is 2 3/4 by 4, and I computer generated the thanks for helping. Okay, on my sun. Okay, when I do a card on my gypsy, I place a rectangle the size of my card, but my background piece, 3 1/2 by 4 3/4, on my mat. And you'll have to unlength your width and height to get it that size and set it on real dial size. Do that, and then when you put your pieces in for your cards, you can put them inside that rectangle and see exactly how they're going to fit. I wanted the bottom of this cut off, so I put it on the very edge of my mat where the part of the sun was sticking off my mat, and that way when it cut, it trimmed that straight off the bottom. We're going to put this right. Watch me run out of tape. On the background piece right here, like that. And the next row is my grass, and it's 3 pieces of grass from Easter 2010. I did the short grass first. I have 2 rows of the tall grass and 1 row of the short grass. You will group 3 pieces together and weld them together. And then I placed them in that rectangle I was telling you about. You place them in the rectangle, and then you can get it the width you want. Duplicate the smaller grass, and then go back and unlink your width and height and change only the height, and that way you get your taller grass. After I got my taller grass, I duplicated that again. In a second, I'll show you what I did to it. So we're just going to glue this directly to the background piece just over the sun. And now we're going to get to the layering part. This is my second piece of duplicated grass, and I welded my flowers onto it. The first layer of flowers is your layer with all the green. I welded my flowers to that, and I've already added my pop dots. And I'm going to put those right on top of there. Okay, and then they had, their layer piece was the color part of the flower, so I ink around that. I use a water-based brown, water-based dye ink. I use Stampin' Up. This color is close to cocoa, but they have discontinued this, I've heard. I'm going to have to pick out a new medium color. But I use close to, this is quilling glue. I love quilling glue. I love this little point. You can use any water-based dye ink, and I use this makeup sponge to apply it. I'll put these flowers on. Like that. All the cut sizes are listed on my blog, the exact size of the cut and the written instructions. So if you visit my blog, you can find out exactly what all these sizes are. We're going to do on the turtle and the snail. They both had 3 layers. They had the background layer, which I cut in black, which turns out to be his mouth and his eyes. Then they had this second layer, which has the cutout for his mouth and his eyes. And then they both had a shell layer. And on the turtle, after I assembled him, I pop dotted the shell layer up. And I added little cheeks, and I used a little white gel pen to add the little dots on his cheeks. But I cut out two, on both of these, I cut out two of the father's back pieces because I wanted to pop dot them twice from my paper. I'm going to add my quilling glue right here, and since that grass is already pop dotted, I don't need a pop dot for him. And I'm going to put that on the grass. See how it, okay, and it just takes a second to dry. See how that layer is right there? Then on my turtle, this part and this part won't be on the grass, but this part right here will. And so I've added a little glue to that part and added the pop dots here. And I'm going to make him where the snail's touching him and pushing his little shell over. There we go. And then next we're going to add my little snail. And I'm going to pop dot him. He has a pop dot to his back. And then the little turtle I told you about, I have pop dots on him. I'll add that. Just like that. And that way you get good dimension. Then here's my shorter layer of grass I told you about. And it's already got pop dots on it. I'll add that. And that way the little animals are tucked inside the grass like they're crawling in the grass. Then we're going to make the inside match. The papers already match. Add my little quilling glue. I went ahead and assembled these for you, and they're already inked up. I ink around all my pieces. On the grass, I just ink around the sides and the bottom, but not the top. Like I say, you can get all my cut sizes from my blog, www.aplaceformycard.blogspot.com. There's what the finished card looks like, and you've got all this dimension in there. I don't know if you can see it. It's good. I'll have pictures on my blog too, from the side view, from the inside, that you can use to reference when you make this card. I've had people ask about this part on the back of my card, and I'm fixing to show you how I lay it out on a piece of paper, but it's computer generated. It says Handmade Cards by Jeannie, and then it has my blog address, and then it says it has the Bible verse 1 Peter 4:10 on there. And to do that, for my tile cards, let's see, I don't know if you can see that good, I hope so. You put it right in the middle of this half of the page, and the very middle here, and the bottom here, and that makes a tile card. You cut it in half and you have two, and then it'll fold like that and be a tile card. And for the wide cards, you put it in the middle of this half at the bottom, and the middle of this half at the bottom, like that. Hoping you can see that good. And then you'll cut it in half, and after you cut it in half, you'll fold that over, and it'll be two cards. So lay that out right there. That's how it's done on for the wide cards. And this is how it's done with the tile cards, and I do it on a card making program that I happen to have on my computer. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful day.